He had a loyal wife. She had a peaceful home. But one desperate girl destroyed it all. Before you open your doors to help someone, make sure they are not secretly holding the knife that will stab you. Adewale had everything a man could ask for: a good job, a warm home, a loving wife, and a daughter who made his heart swell with pride. He lived in a quiet estate in Ibadan, where peace and laughter filled the air around his beautiful bungalow. His wife, Morenike, was the type of woman that made other women want to be better: tall, elegant, soft-spoken, and full of grace. She had supported Adewale from the days when he had only a laptop and a dream. Their 10-year-old daughter, Yewande, was the joy of their lives. She was sharp, funny, and had a habit of singing around the house with her tiny voice. Every morning, she would wake up, run into their bedroom, jump on the bed and shout, "Daddy, Mommy, it's time for school." Even when things got tough in the outside world, Adewale always knew that as long as he had Morenike and Yewande, he was rich. Adewale owned a growing media company, Vision Point Studio. He started it from scratch, and now they did adverts, music videos, and documentaries. Clients were beginning to call from Lagos and even abroad. Morenike had quit her bank job years ago to focus on their family and support Adewale's vision. She helped manage their home, made sure Yewande was raised well, and also helped with Adewale's personal schedule sometimes. Their marriage wasn't perfect, but it was strong. On Saturdays, they had family bonding time. Morenike would cook jollof rice while Adewale played Ludo with Yewande. Then they would sit together, eat, laugh, and pray. Friends envied them, neighbors admired them. Even strangers who followed Morenike's simple post on social media would comment, "God, when? This is real love. Adewale is a real man." Adewale was real until something entered his life that began to shake everything he had built. Moyo sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the ceiling fan as it turned slowly. Her NYC had ended 6 months ago, and since then, she had worked under the sun from one office to another, dropping CVs that were never read. Her phone rarely rang, and when it did, it was from job scammers or her mother asking, "Have you eaten today?" Her mother, Ronke, was a widow who sold pap and akara at the roadside. She had trained Moyo with sweat and tears, and now her only child was at home, frustrated, hungry, and tired of life. One hot afternoon, Moyo's mother sat on a wooden bench and thought deeply. Suddenly, she remembered an old friend she hadn't called in years, Bisi. They had both grown up in Abeokuta and even shared meals in secondary school. She picked up her phone and dialed the number slowly. "Hello, Bisi. It's me, Ronke." "Ah, Ronke, long time. Are you still alive?" They both laughed warmly like old friends. Tears filled Ronke's eyes as she explained her daughter's struggle. "Bisi, please. I hear your daughter's husband owns a company. Moyo studied mass communication. Even if it's receptionist work, let her just start from somewhere. I beg you." Touched by the cry of a mother, Morenike's mother promised to talk to her daughter. That night, Morenike's mother called Morenike and shared everything. Just tell Adewale to help her. Her mother suffered though. Morenike, always kind-hearted, nodded. I will speak to him, hear me. Later that evening, while they were having dinner, Morenike brought it up gently. Babe, my mother called. Her friend's daughter is looking for a job. Fresh graduate. Can you help her, please? Adewale signed. You know we are not hiring now. She studied mass communication. Maybe internship. Or if it's part-time, please. Adewale looked into Morenike's eyes. He couldn't say no. Okay, ask her to send her CV. If she's serious, I'll give her a chance. The next week, Moyo walked into Vision Point Studios wearing her best blouse and skirt, her face glowing with hope. She was beautiful, slim, fair-skinned, with sharp eyes and pink lips. Adewale came out to greet her. You must be Moyo. Welcome. Thank you, sir. I'm so grateful. God bless you for this chance. He smiled, not knowing the storm that had just walked into his life. Moyo started work the next day, her job, production assistant. But soon, she became more than just that. At first, Moyo was just like every other new staff, quiet, respectful, always writing notes and eager to please. But as days turned into weeks, people in the office began to notice something strange. Moyo was always around Adewale. If he coughed, she would bring water. If he forgot his files, she had already arranged them. If he came in early, she was already waiting by the gate. She did do pass herself. One staff whispered, "Now Oga's wife help her get this job oh." Another warned. But Moyo didn't care. She had seen something she wanted, and she wasn't going to stop. Adewale, at first, she's smart. He told Morenike, very sharp girl. Morenike smiled. I'm glad she's serious. Her mother will be proud of her. But slowly, things began to change. Moyo started dressing differently. Her skirts became tighter, her blouse deeper, her perfume stronger. She always called Adewale sir, but the way she called it, it felt like a song. One evening, everyone had closed except Moyo and Adewale. They were editing a client advert that needed to be submitted urgently. As they sat side by side, the power flickered and the office became quiet. Moyo signed, Sir, I'm sorry to say this, but you are such a good man. Adewale looked at her. Thank you, Moyo. I just wish all men were like you. The way you treat your wife, how you smile, how you lead, you are special. He laughed awkwardly. Let's finish the work. But she didn't stop. Sir, can I be honest? She looked into his eyes. He hesitated. Go ahead. I like you. Her voice dropped. Moyo. He froze. You know I'm married. I know. I don't want anything. I just want to be close to you. Please. That night, something inside Adewale cracked. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was lust. Maybe it was weakness. He didn't go home early. He didn't tell Morenike. And from that night on, things began to change. They started seeing each other in secret. Office meetings turned into private dinners. Messages became midnight calls. Adewale told himself it meant nothing. He still loved Morenike. He still hugged Yewande. but it was slowly feeding a fire he could no longer control. One Sunday morning, while Morenike ironed his church clothes, he received a text, "Miss you already, baby." And just like that, the crack began to show. Adewale was now living two lives. By day, he was the loving husband, smiling at Morenike, helping Yewande with her homework, praying with his family, and updating happy pictures on WhatsApp. But when he stepped into his office, another man came alive, a man who answered to baby when Moyo called. The affair grew like a hidden tree, rooted deep, watered in secret. Moyo had mastered her role. At work, she acted innocent. No one could guess. But behind closed doors, she was bold, wide, and demanding. She wanted gifts. She wanted attention. She wanted more than stolen moments. She wanted to be seen. One Friday, after closing hours, she said slowly, "Baby, I'm tired of hiding." Adewale frowned. "What do you mean?" "I want to go out with you. Let's travel, even if it's just for the weekend." "I am a married man, Moyo," he reminded her. "And I'm not asking for forever," she whispered. "Just time." So they went. He lied to Morenike that it was a work retreat. He left Yewande with a kiss and promised to call every night. They traveled to Lagos, checked into a hotel, and for those 2 days, Moyo felt like the queen of Adewale's world. She took pictures. He laughed more than usual. He forgot about reality, but reality was already watching. Moyo posted one photo online, a soft one, just her hand holding a man's hand across a table. But the wristwatch, the wedding ring, someone noticed. A cousin of Morenike, who followed Moyo quietly on Instagram, saw the post and paused. The ring looked familiar, even the watch. She saved the picture, zoomed in, and sent it to Morenike with one text. "Please, no verse, but is this Adewale's hand?" Morenike looked at the picture for minutes. Her chest tightened, her hand shook, but she didn't reply. She stared at the photo as if staring at a stranger. Then she quickly stood up, walked to the bedroom, locked the door and cried into her pillow. Adewale returned 2 days later to a quiet house. No drama, no shouting. Morenike welcomed him with a smile and warm jollof rice. Something wasn't right. He sat at the table, confused. She didn't ask about the trip. She didn't mention work. She only watched him, too calmly. That night, after Yewande had gone to bed, Morenike walked into the bedroom holding her phone. She sat down beside him and placed the phone on the bed. Adewale looked at the screen. It was a picture of a woman's hand holding his. The wedding ring and wristwatch were unmistakable. "Who is this?" she asked softly. He paused, his eyes darting around. Then he smiled nervously. "That's not me," he said quickly. "I swear, Morenike." "Adewale, look again. That's your ring. That's your wristwatch. And I know your hand." He shook his head, still denying it. "Babe, people can edit things. You know people are wicked. I can never cheat on you." Morenike stared at him. Her face was calm, but her heart was breaking inside. "I want to believe you," she whispered, "because I don't want this home to break. But if there is something you are hiding, please tell me now." I'm not hiding anything, Adewale insisted. You are my wife. I love you so much. You are the mother of my children. I will never disgrace you, and I can never cheat on you. She nodded slowly and stood up. All right then. But deep inside, Morenike already knew. What she didn't know was that the affair was not only real, but it was growing stronger. Moyo had tasted the life of soft luxury, weekend trips. She now saw herself not just as a side chick, but a second wife in waiting. Then, a month later, Moyo called Adewale in the middle of the night. Babe, I'm pregnant, she said coldly. Adewale froze. What? I'm carrying your child, she repeated. And no, I'm not getting rid of it. Don't even try that rubbish with me. Moyo, are you sure? Yes, she snapped. And I'm not hiding anymore. If you don't do the needful, I will go public. What do you want from me? He asked, rubbing his forehead in frustration. I want you to marry me, Adewale. I won't raise this child like a secret. I deserve more than late night and lies. He felt the room spinning. Moyo, I love my wife. I love my daughter. I can't lose them. She laughed bitterly. Then, you should have thought of that before crawling into my bed. He begged, please, don't do this. Let me figure things out. But Moyo had already made up her mind. I will give you 2 weeks, she said. Tell your wife or I will tell her myself. That night, Adewale sat on the floor of his house office, sweating, broken and lost. He had denied the truth to the wife who loved him. Now, the lie was about to explode in his face. Moyo was not ready to be a secret anymore. After weeks of waiting for Adewale to do the needful, she grew tired and desperate. Her belly was beginning to show. People at the office were already whispering. So, one afternoon, she sat down with her mother and told her everything, from the first late night meeting to the pregnancy that now lived inside her. Moyo's mother listened quietly, her eyes cold. This man used you, and now he wants to dump you like a rotten fruit. Never. Moyo nodded. He says he loves his wife and daughter. Let me handle this, her mother said. Later that night, Moyo's mother called Adewale with a shaking voice. My son, I don't want trouble, but you must know something. In our family, any man who gets a maiden pregnant and refuses to marry her, madness will follow him. And if he doesn't marry her before the 7th month, death will come. It's not a joke. It has happened before. Adewale was silent. His heart skipped. He had heard strange stories growing up, but this felt real. The way Moyo's mother spoke, it sent fear into his bone. Please, don't let this be your story, she warned. Protect yourself, my son. Protect your soul. The call ended, and Adewale sat in the darkness for a long time. He wasn't only afraid of shame now, he was afraid of death, of running mad, of losing everything. So, without telling a soul, he secretly married Moyo at the registry. No crowd, no suit, just Moyo in a simple dress with her baby bump showing, her mother smiling beside her like someone who just won a war. He signed the papers with trembling hands. A few days later, back at home, Adewale tried to carry on with his normal life. He was in the living room, laughing as he played a board game with Yewande. A giggle filled the air like music. Then the door cracked open. Morenike entered the room slowly, her hands shaking, her phone pressed on her chest. Tears were already flowing down her face before she said a word. "Adewale," she whispered. He looked up, smiling at first. Then his smile faded as he saw her tears. She stretched her hands and showed him the screen. It was the wedding photo, his wedding to Moyo. His wife, Morenike's cousin, has just sent her the pictures. "Tell me this isn't true," she cried. "Tell me this is fake, please." Adewale's mouth opened, but no words came out. He dropped the game pieces from his hand. Yewande looked at both of them confused. The room fell into heavy silence. Tears streamed down Adewale's cheek. "I don't want to lose you," he muttered. "I don't know what else to do." Morenike stepped back slowly, like someone hit by a car. "You married her?" She laughed deep, painful, broken laughter. "The same girl I helped. The same girl I asked you to employ. This is how you repay me?" "Morenike, please," he cried, but she was already walking away. "Don't follow me," she said. "Don't touch me. I don't even know who you are anymore." She walked into the bedroom, closed the door and collapsed on the floor, holding her chest. That night, Adewale sat in the living room, staring at nothing. The laughter of Yewande was gone, the peace was gone, and in all he had was regret. One rainy Saturday, Moyo and her mother arrived at Adewale's house in a cab filled with bags, boxes, baby things and boldness. They knocked. When Adewale opened the door and saw them, he froze. "What? What are you doing here?" he asked, voice low. "We are moving in," Moyo's mother replied, brushing past him with a smirk. "This is now your wife's house too. Or have you forgotten you married her?" Moyo stepped in, rubbing her belly proudly. She looked around and smiled. Finally. Adewale stood there, speechless. This was not the plan. He had hoped to keep the two lives apart. He had hoped Morenike would somehow forgive him and life would go back to normal. But life wasn't a movie. Morenike watched it all from her bedroom window, watched the woman she helped carry her pregnancy into her home, watched her own husband open the door for her enemy. Her chest ached, but she didn't cry this time. She quietly packed her bags, helped Yewande fold her clothes, and walked out of the house with her head held high. She left behind the betrayal. She left behind the pain, but she took her dignity, her daughter, and her sanity with her. Weeks later, she filed for divorce. No drama, no noise, just a signature and a lawyer's letter. When the news broke out, the internet went wild. The perfect couple, divorced. Morenike left him. What happened? Is this not the same girl she helped to get a job? Adewale became the face of betrayal. Clients pulled out. Longtime sponsors stopped returning his calls. Even his best staff resigned. The once bright Vision Point Studios became a ghost town. And worse, Morenike's mother cut all ties with the woman who brought the devil into their home. "If I had known, I would have never picked that call," she wept. But while Adewale's life crumbled, Morenike's life began to rise. She returned to school to complete her business management course. She launched an online fashion brand. Her story touched women across the country. She was invited to speak at conferences, churches, and women's forums. With her calm voice and wise words, she told her truth. Marriage is not a badge of honor if it steals your peace. Staying silent in pain is not strength, it's bondage. I didn't leave because I stopped loving him. I left because I started loving myself. Yewande watched her mother glow. She saw how brokenness turned into brilliance. She smiled one day and said, "Mommy, you are my hero." Meanwhile, in Adewale's house, Adewale sat in silence, watching Moyo beat their child, complain about everything, and scroll through her phone with no regards for him. The home was full of noise now, but no peace, no laughter, no prayer, no joy. He stared at the framed photo of Morenike and Yewande that he had kept hidden in his drawer, and he whispered to himself, "I had gold, and I threw it away for dust." Not all broken homes are failure. Some are survivors who chose peace over pretense. Lessons from the story. This story teaches us that love, no matter how deep, cannot hold a marriage together without loyalty, respect, and truth. A beautiful home can still collapse when one partner feeds lies while the other waters trust. It reminds us that sometimes the people we fight for are the very people quietly tearing us apart. Marriage should never demand your sanity or silence. Choosing your mental health over societal applause is not weakness, but wisdom. Morenike walked away not because she had no fight left in her, but because she refused to keep bleeding in a battle she never started. It teaches us that betrayal is rarely loud. It wears the face of someone you once prayed for. And sometimes, even the hands you fed will sharpen a knife behind your back. Helping others is noble, but when kindness blinds you to deception, you may raise your enemy and call them friend. Walking away in silence does not mean defeat. It is sometimes the highest form of strength. A peaceful exit is louder than a thousand arguments. Healing is not revenge, it is growth. The same heart that broke can beat stronger. The same woman society mocked as abandoned can rise and raise queens. Legacy will always outshine lies, and dignity will always outlive deceit. Protect your peace like a palace, guide your word like treasure, and never lose your soul trying to keep someone who will trade you for their convenience. Thank you so much for watching this story. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also click the notification bell so you never miss any of our upcoming stories. Feel free to leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Your support means everything to me. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed and keep enjoying great stories from me to you. I love you all. God bless you.